do a head heart shift. I know it sounds weird, do a head heart shift. And I know your mind gets a hold of this and says, wait a minute, it can't be that simple. Your mind wants to complicate life, folks. We are drowning in information, and starving for knowledge. Mind thinks, heart knows. Starving for knowledge. We can complicate things. I can give you a list of papers to read while I'm speaking and everything, or I can connect here with you. See, simplify your life. It doesn't mean you're going to miss out on things. It just means you're going to avoid some of the details that your mind wants to hang on to, that are useless, that are weighing you down. Do a simple head-heart shift. You know, when I first did this, well, I'm going to get into my story in a little bit, but you can ask the question, I don't want to forget this, is that, what does my heart have to say? In any new experience, any question that you might have, you can ask that question, what does my heart have to say about it? And if you do that now, 9 times out of 10, because you haven't been trusting your heart, is that, you know what, you're going to hear a faint voice. The loud one's here right now. The faint one's here. But you can make that shift if you keep trusting in the process, to the point where you can ask any question now of your heart after a certain period of time. And your heart will answer with a plain and simple answer. And it will guide you. Don't waver. Because if you hang out too long, your mind's going to give you all the details of what not to do. What not to do. Folks, we have a profound example of this head-heart shift. And I can't neglect it. A lot of people have told me, you know what, when I talk to them about sharing this, they're like, no, you can't talk about this. And I said, why? This is a time that happened in the history. This was a period of time that happened in history. It's something that's happened. Either ignore it and it eats away at you, or you discuss it. As I said before, adversity is a blessing in disguise. If and only if we choose to see it that way. Now, I want to bring up this example, but I want to be ultra sensitive to say that I wish that I could go back in time. I wish that I could rewind the tape and make like this event never happened. But unfortunately, I can't. So because it's happened, I know all too well that there are messages and lessons to be learned. Doesn't take away from the pain. Doesn't take away from all the sorrow that was experienced and that many of us live, including myself, with each and every day. But there are powerful messages and lessons that we can take with us that can help us to move forward and do what we want in life and make connections and have this service to other people. The event I'm talking about is 9/11. 9/11. Now, I was trying to think about how old many of you were, and I'm sure that you remember, but I want you to take yourself back to where you were when 9/11 happened. Think about when that person first mentioned it to you. Maybe your first glimpse was looking at the images on TV. See, what happened, and I'm generalizing here, but what happened to many of us is that our minds were blown and our hearts open. Our minds were blown. We saw these images or we heard it and we were like, huh? No way. We couldn't understand it. The mind couldn't process it. It was so far out of the reality. And our hearts opened to the point where we said, how can we connect? How can we serve? How can we make this maybe just a little bit better for someone else? See, folks, right away, and I lost some friends to 9/11 who I know are in my heart and working with me every day to spread my word, is that I know that there were blessings in disguise that came out of this, and I didn't have to search too far. The first blessing is that, I don't know if you're aware of this, but here in the tri-state area, and I'm sure across the whole country and probably around the world, there was a shortage of blood supply. People weren't going out and donating blood the way they used to anymore. 9/11 happened. There were blood banks in New York City that were turning people away within 24 hours saying, I'm sorry, we can't store any more blood. Do you think we would have ever had that kind of outpouring of support, of people donating blood, had something not as catastrophic happen like a 9/11? I don't think so. I don't think so. One little blessing that probably saved a lot of lives. Blessing number 2, I don't know if you're aware of this, 48 hours after 9/11, is that there was a black man in New York City yelling, I'm a black man, and nobody cares. And nobody cares. See, for a period of time there, after 9/11, we didn't see race, we didn't see color, we didn't see religion, we didn't see languages, we didn't see our differences. It was a matter of just connecting to one another and say, how can I help? How can I serve? We picked our extended brothers and sisters up and said, what can I do to help you out? I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what the color of your skin is. I don't care what language you speak. I don't care how much money you got in your pocket, what titles you have in life. We made a connection. But unfortunately, and again, I'm not here to judge anyone, there were many people who ended up going back into their minds shortly after 9/11 and started doing their own little racial profiling. And we started disconnecting again, saying, maybe somebody of your color skin or someone of your ethnicity or someone of your religion was responsible for 9/11. And we started disconnecting from humanity again. See, folks, I understand in times of tremendous sorrow, great devastation, like a 9/11, a Hurricane Katrina, tsunamis, a death in the family, someone loses their job. I understand why we come together. I get it. I also understand in times of great celebration, whether it be a birth in the family or of a friend, whether it be a graduation, whether it be a promotion at work, a wedding, you name it. I understand then why we come together and we unite. We put all of our differences aside. My challenge to you, and I wish this for everybody, especially at your age, when you're launching your journey of self-discovery now. This might be the first time in your life that you're out on your own. The world is yours to claim. I just hope on a daily basis is that you decide to connect. You decide to come from your heart. You can get up in your mind as much as you want, and you can understand how everybody in this room is different from you. I get it. Or you can get into your heart and you can understand underneath everything else that you might think we want in life, fame, success, all these things that our mind tell us. Underneath all of that, there are two things that I am convinced we all want as human beings. One is to give love and one is to receive love. And every single human being, no matter what different steps they may take, I say people who are walking away from those two missions in life are simply lost. And we need to do what we can to help them reconnect and refocus. Because, folks, you might disagree with me on this one. I believe, think of a little baby that you're holding. Maybe you've had a chance to hold a little baby. Is that you look at that baby right now, whoever that baby is, wherever that baby was born in this world, whatever religion, there's goodness inside that baby. But you know what, folks? When we disconnect from ourselves, because that's ultimately what we want, we disconnect from ourselves and then we disconnect from others, we can do some terrible things to ourselves and to other people.